First episode of the day, and we are talking about the video where we spoke about that lady who was singing gospel. And so there was a comment in that video of a person who seemed to have known the lady, and she left this comment over here. I'm going to read it, and I want us to have a conversation. That video was a conversation starter. We're just starting the conversation. We need to get ourselves used to talking to people about what we believe about ourselves and about other people. This forms the Christian community, okay? Even if you are uncomfortable about talking about certain things, certain areas of your life, we need to get used to talking about them, because that makes us effective at conveying a proper biblical presentation. Remember, the theme line of what we talk about is that we call it the biblification of a Christian's mindset. So how should a Christian think about certain things? You can make up your own mind at the end, okay? But let's have that conversation, okay? It's a reality show. We do daily Christian commentary videos. I don't think I've ever made a perfect introduction to a video. But this comment comes from this lady who knows the lady we were talking about, okay? And so she says, I know the first lady. So I'm going to hide the comment. It's called Deluxe, the comment, the person who commented this. But I think I'll just leave it there, okay? She says, I know the lady. I went to varsity with her. She has been an Imzalwani from a very early age, comes from a saved family. That's wonderful. Now, this is where I think the concern came in, okay? Just listen to this. She came from a biblical, she was raised in a family that was Christian. And she is also married. That's wonderful. Amazing stuff. She has had that body since she was a teenager. Amazing stuff. There are people who just have amazing body structure. Okay? I did see one particular comment who was saying that I was body shaming, and I was like, lost for word. I didn't even answer the comment, because it's not body shaming. Body shaming is when you're making a mockery of someone's body. Okay? I made a joke of the subject so that it lightens people's hearts to be willing to have the conversation. So I was joking, I was saying this, you know. I just made a joke of the subject so that it is easier to get through the conversation. Some people are very touchy about this stuff, and particularly speaking about women. Okay, but this is where I think the concern in this comment came in, and I did see this populated in the comments of that video. She says that she's had that body since a teenager, and she had to deal with this kind of comments from a very young age. Now, I don't know what comments exactly she's talking about, but bear in mind, in the video, I did present both sides. I said there were people that might be for, there are people that might be against. What do you guys think? I literally left the conversation just to the people, and I presented it with that video of a woman who was stealing. Okay, in a church event, in an event, and I asked the question, does it not steal the hearts of people? If you listen to what I said, I wasn't body shaming. I was saying, does it not steal the heart? So it was kind of like pun very much intended. Do you get me? Now, the reason why I say that she's had to deal with this type of comments from an early age. She would often say at our ladies' meeting in varsity fellowship how much this bothered her, because this body she was born with, right? You see, this is what I call being naive. I'm going to pause at that, okay? Sometimes we have to tell people the harsh truth, the harsh, unfiltered truth. And sometimes Christians, especially people that are raised in a Christian family, that have never seen anything outside the world, they can be extremely naive. They can close themselves from everything. Men are physical creatures. And I've said this previously, it's how we were made, it's how we are built. The first thing, Bazalani, please, let's not be ignorant at this stuff, because this is where you find people lack in perspective when they get married. When you get married to a man, you must understand this. The first thing that we see, it's you. It's how you look. So there is physical attraction. I'm attracted to the person. Just seeing them. Wonderful. Mommy water. Just kidding. Okay? But there is that attraction. Physical. Even Luena, you don't know me, but you are willing to have the conversation with me because I look, you understand, understandable. I look compromisable. I can work with this brother. We can work with this, okay? But you need that physical attraction in order to engage in the conversation. Then once we start talking, then I know, oh, I love the way this person thinks. I love the way they see me. Once I've heard you talking and we are having that conversation. So the first thing that it cannot be ignored is that we see each other, both men and women. We acknowledge each other physically. So these comments might become problematic to the person if they have an issue with how they look. If you see how people react to you and then you make it the focus. Some people struggle with self-confidence, my bad, that's what I mean. Some people struggle with confidence in their body. Some people are not comfortable in how they look and they would look down on themselves on how they look. And so, because they would rather have something completely different. But do not be ignorant of that, of how we come into relationship, okay? It's just that. Some people are just more carnal than others. But to address this part here, that she would be bothered by these comments as they came forward. She says that she has had that body as she was born. She didn't choose it. So I didn't see anything wrong with her dressing the body God gave her. That's not the subject. It's what we were asking in that video is, you know, can we be a little bit eased and know men are physical creatures. This is why you will always fight with your men, because your men looked at someone physical, okay? It's when he stays staring at the other lady that you should say, hey, can you control yourself, okay? And not take it as offensive. Address it so that he is conscious that he's doing that. Some people are just, they've wired themselves to doing that. That's why if a person was to ask me, Ricky, what is your type? My type is the person I'm dating. You are not my type. You are not my type. You are completely, you couldn't fit my type. My type is the person I'm dating. You don't fit. Yeah, it's not, she must be skinny. She must be like, she must be a bit, you know, weather friendly. That's not my type. My type is the person I'm with. Whether she's skinny, she's what, whether body, she's the one I like. That one. Yes. Did I say the one? Yes, she's the one I like. Keep that in mind. So I don't have a preference of body type. It's the person that I'm with that I like. So if her body changes, she's the one I like still. It's when your man looks out at another person and then they keep looking there that you should be concerned and say, hey man, control yourself. And then he does it again. Hey, control yourself. Okay? Till he gets himself in line to. Some people are just like that. They've wired themselves. They've had, you know, people, especially people who are too much friends. When you're with these friends who are just always commenting about, hey, look at that one looks like this one looks like this. If a person is with friends who are like that, they are more prone to doing that. Me, it's off. That button is off. Because I hang by myself. So I don't have those comments in my head. I don't have the guys cheering at the back of my head. Hey, bona. I don't have that. Because I'm more an isolated person. I'm an isolated island. But if you don't note that, men are physical. We sight. It's sight. It's what I see from the person and what comes off. And that's what leads me towards that person. But if you just look at this thing as it's offensive, you know, I know this person personally and her heart. It's not her heart we are addressing. We're not saying she has an evil heart. Note in the video, we didn't say anything about intentions that you are intending to do what. Nothing like that. The issue we are addressing is note the other. But if it's too much for you to take, if that particular subject to say there is the other genderism, you understand? If that subject is too big of a subject to deal with, then you don't understand what the Bible meant when it says you are to be your brother's keeper. You don't understand that subject. You are too far from it. And I'm sorry to say it. As you mature, this is one area. As a lady, note, this is a lady subject. The same way as a man, as you mature, this area where you constantly allow yourself to just look and stare and admire, and that's another area you outgrow. You need to grow out of. Okay? And so, but both must be clear on the subject. Because you might meet a man who has always had friends who have done that for a very long time. So it's at the back of their mind. They do it even subconsciously. They don't even realize they're doing it. Hey, control yourself. It notes to them. Okay? But then if you don't address these things, you take it personal. It's like a person coming to you and say, hey, my sister, this dress. You know, you take it personal. It's like the person is addressing you. No, they're talking about the dress. They're saying, you know what, might not be appropriate, might not be proper. Because you are offended because they commented about the dress. The dress is what they're questioning. To say, no man, you know, a little bit more widanyana. You let your dress be a little bit more open so that the brotherhood can focus just this one time of the week. Okay? When they are here fellowshipping, let them not fellowship with their hearts being drawn elsewhere. That was what the conversation was.